Well, hello there. Welcome back, my most ethical light and love crew. Just taking a tiny break. It is around noon, so good afternoon. Good afternoon. Angels of love and light, I welcome you in to direct and protect these messages, my chakras, my auras, my space, my work, and that. Oh, and my trials, and that of our children's. All right. Oh, gosh. Ugh. Alrighty, what are we doing here? Well, the mostest. As the hostest. Okay, let's try to get a little dolled up here, because I've been making calls, looking up some things, getting paperwork together. You know, the most fun part of my day has been cleaning up messes, like piles of clutter, and repotting certain plants where the roots felt cluttered. And I think that might be like the message today as far as being on point with subtle magic or high magic. Like I needed to clear my head so that I would have more clarity in tackling this court stuff and finances and dude, seriously. Yeah, so that was the most, those were the most pleasure-filled moments of my day, where I could just do some housekeeping, and I wish I wish I could keep going at it, but I knew that at a certain point, I had my hesitation points where I realized I may be just distracting myself or prolonging things, even though these things need to get done. There's time limits that are just kind of like hot coals, and it's taking up more space on the area that I need to travel through. So anyway, I got this deck because it always trips me up. Like, I don't know what to expect out of it. I didn't even look at the cards of, I don't even know what is all contained in here, except, magic. And I don't remember exactly the source that I got it from. I think I got it, I don't know. It was previously loved. And then, since we've gotten the shapeshifter card so much, and the devil patted me on the back for my love life and how I'm going about things respectably, and I don't think there's any kick me signs on my back that was posted on there. I don't think that there was any trickery in that. I believe it was authentic, and especially with having spirit support just completely backing me, that I should go with this. I was called to this. And the whole shapeshifters on the spine, or the supposed spine of it, came through. So I figured that's the way to go. I wanted to get some new decks, some new interpretations of items, and so here we are. And neither of these are really tarot systems. So looking at remedying the situation, there's no overnight duct tape. Okay, comfrey is awesome from what I understand in here, but I feel like I gotta understand, respect the process and the timing, all of that. And this is actually more important than the whole concept of fame and all of that. This is the prefix to it. In fact, it could be simultaneous. And you know what? Thank you to all my my newly recruited or newly surfacing support crew. Yeah, thank you. Just, I'm glad you're resonating. So, Spirit, what do you want to say? What do you want to say in all of this stuff that's going on? I mean, you already showed me some wonderful cards. I'm I got the inverted, like the internalized, the most private version of the Wheel of Fortune and the Emperor, which is Spirit, with a pocketed ace in there. After seeing what's behind the scenes of the King of Pentacles in reverse, in its negative polarities. And so like the storyline is way more complex than what we're seeing at surface level, or even just right in front of us. And some of what's right in front of us is, I'd say, more over projections than anything. So it's like when you're being served, like, you have an inbox and somebody's like dropping stuff in there. Those are actual items, right? Actual elements, resources to work with. However, when something is, you're confronted with something that's an intangible that could very well be an illusion. So, Spirit has told me already up front what's going on here. Like how to just keep going with it. And that was a great starter with how I laid things out. Like I noticed that my plants were feeling suffocated in certain arenas, and I don't understand what happened. Like none of my plants outside are flowering. I don't understand it. They're happier because I did some things, but like my roses aren't really flowering. My others, like my geraniums, are not like they were banging for a while. So maybe the new soil stuff that I put on it is just needs some time to like settle into it. Maybe that's like because it's organic materials to get into it, and maybe that's what it is. Because even like those huge cactus flowers they haven't bloomed for a while. Like they did, like they inundated me with blooms. I have never ever witnessed it to be like that ever in my yard. But now I don't know what I did. I mean, I took some, orphan roses. I took on some orphan roses and fixer-uppers, and they're doing better, but they're not flowering. I don't understand. So, maybe this is just like a hiatus mode, or it's just going to surprise me, but there's something that fell on the ground, so let me get that. The moon card inverted, okay, so it's like, what did the salamander say to the scorpion? What did the salamander say to the scorpion? I don't know. So it, what is that? Big Moon Rising? There's something about that song, or I don't even know if I got that song right. Let me write this down. So there's still plenty of life left in the day, is what I'm hearing. Just time left in the day. There you are. But as you can see, my bed doesn't have very much crap on it anymore. But, okay. Is it Bad Moon Rising or Bad Moon? I think it's Bad Moon Rising. But I think bad is not a bad word. Bad reference, I think it's the opposite, Like it's so cold, it's hot, Something like that. I don't know why I was called to say it like that, but I did say it like that. And so, all right. Okay. So we got that inverted. So we're talking about our intentions amplified into the world, or things manifesting directly to, well, I'll have to speak for myself, okay? But I got my crew here, so, okay, I'm just going to go with what comes naturally, right, angels? 'Cause you're going to direct me on the me, who, what, where, when, all of that, okay, right? Yes, okay, got it. So our intentions amplified amplified to like all, but also there's like a vortex fueling, like a black hole almost, of manifestations that are coming true for us, like absolutely, like just like vroom, like funneled right in. So that's excellent. I'm gonna tell you, it's excellent. Let me forewarn you, it's excellent. So, you don't have to fake being surprised, because it will surprise you, let me tell you. Alrighty, what do you got here? 7 of Cups in reverse. Juniper berries. Okay, so, you know what? I just received something on TikTok on baneful magic, and like how moldy herbs and all of that will have an opposite effect if it is meant to do you well, or if it is meant to do baneful magic, that it amplifies it. So I would be very careful in practicing within that arena, that you only use that magic for, how do I say it? Like, go back to the witch's rules and, what is it? I forget. I'm drawing a blank here. It's, like you mean no harm. You mean no evil, mean no harm in your practice, okay? So there was something about juniper berries, okay? There's something about juniper there. But sorry, give me a second. Okay, sorry about that. I forget what that was for, but I think it was not very good. It was not very good. So, just kind of look up what the properties are of that, and just be cognizant of that kind of in the background too. All right? We don't want to manifest that, but just understand that if something is kind of off, it might very well relate to that. Okay? Okay, so 7 of Cups in reverse. Dreams. Okay, let's get a I'm hearing an amplifier, a qualifier, a clarifier for that. Okay, 6 of Pentacles in reverse, the Hermit in reverse, and the Magic in reverse. Okay, I really have to look at this. So there's something about like a lot of gray area in our magic, okay? In magic, period, okay? But because you can see that in 3 out of these 4 cards. You see the gray smoke, it's amplified. You see the gray on the Hermit, and the gray stones there. Do you see that? Like, it's all kind of centered in, like moving in. So you know what? They're saying there's only really one way to go about this. I mean, you can still go outside of the box in all of this, but they're saying that they put like an X marks the spot where we're guided to, right? So it's not really outside of the box, it's in that X box, right? So we X box, something about gaming, somebody does gaming, I don't know, but there's something about the game, because I just said something about Xbox, but X marks the spot in the box. So when we're going like out of box, like doing things creatively, it's in the approach. It's like, how do I say it? There's something about that where we're supposed to dig beneath the surface. Like, there's only one way to go about that, which is to keep on digging, keep working at it. And I told Spirit, I was like, Spirit, you please keep me honest and like on this, which is I have to spend at least an hour a day. It doesn't matter what happens. I need to spend at least, hold me true to this, that I need to spend an hour, because I don't know really much about law. So to make me feel more prepared for this thing that's coming a few months down the road is the allowance, my angels to pave way for the allowance and then enablement, the support needed and granted to clear obstacles for that hour of chiseled out time to the trial stuff, okay, to preparation of all of the stuff that needs to happen, the readiness of it, all of that for execution. An hour a day. And if I can't spend an hour, if I skip a day, then it's twofold the next day. Or, you know, like I have to do that, but don't let me strike out for 3 days. Okay. I've got to do this, and I really need to, like, even if it's like pulling away all that does not serve, which is like any type of feed that would give me any clue to what's happening. Like, if I am bored out of my mind because of the content on my feed, that's a surefire indicator that distraction is not open. You know, if I feel insatiated by any kind of food that I eat, then that's not, you know, then I know. If I am taking these naps to find comfort or like relief, and it's not providing as such, then I need to. So just like I need to be shown through these several signs that, which they've been doing, you know, every now and then, to get back on track, just to keep on digging, okay? And that way it's not going to be so overwhelming when I have to, you know, really engage. And so that's what I've been doing, at least today. And they're saying that's correct, because that's giving back to yourself. That's self-care, to manage your sanity, your time, your efforts, just knowing that this is a learning process, and therefore, like, you're basically marrying yourself. You're falling in love with yourself again, and you are becoming more and more committed to whatever it takes in order to get to that place of freedom, just to love yourself again, just that stability. And like, I honestly, I want to become like, this seems like the easy route in saying, like, I just want for this to go smoothly and extend what is due to me in its most accurate form, and that it be still a learning process, but for me to find opportunities and secure them and maintain them, so that I can completely sever ties with my ex, so that there is absolutely no need for spousal support. And if it provides even further relief, no need for child support. But that's not the case. That's not the case, right? Or it hasn't been for the past few months. Like, and it just seems like more and more of a fight. But I have to remember my manifestation powers are so prime right now. And maybe they have been for a while and I just didn't realize it. So, my focus needs to be more shifted into like this stuff. And if I'm going to set the tone for an hour a day for that stuff, then I have to be sure to do that as far as like spending time with the kids or like exercise or, meditation. And it's super duper important. And I think that I forget that sometimes I need to be reminded that doing these things will amplify my productivity, the quality of what of my outputs, of my investments, that the choices are going to become clearer and more well-defined and of higher value and higher marketability. And so it'll all just kind of gel well. So as far as being out of the box, it's that will be found in looking at the roots, or the highest priorities, which are like the parent roots, the largest roots that fuel the rest of the network, the other threads. And so I feel like the other feeds, right? So when we're looking at the dirt, we're looking at the quality of the soil, okay? Because I just put chicken shit on my plants to help fuel the soil. And that's something that I've never really done before. But in this heat, in this extreme weather change, there's, and the rods that I put in my plants, that there's, that it'll balance things out. So what we're going to say about that, the quality of the soil. So looking at that, sometimes it's like, it doesn't matter how do I say it? No, it doesn't matter. But there's only so much you can do paying attention, or the acknowledgement and the honoring, or the acknowledgement of roots. So you have to look at honoring the ambiance, the environment of how to support those roots. And therefore, the soil, the dirt, the waste of other materials, those resources come into play as far as remedying the situation. So that's what we're looking at here, okay? Looking at the potential of what we're provided, okay? Rather than getting frustrated with the implications of what this situation presents to us. Because honestly, I believe that things are positioned in a way where it's storytelling time, and I'm the narrator. And so there's justice tied into it. Like, how do I say it? So in all actuality, I feel like the respondent's lawyers, the other party, is due to engage in this learning experience as well. That it's not just some random court case out of like the hundreds, that were pursued before. This is something very unique and definitely different. And I feel like there's something more to it, where I'm working with people who are positioned not just to receive their karma, but are supposed to learn how to how do I say it? Because these are people in positions of power. Like, these are people who do detective work, but also a strong practice in coming up with possibilities, negotiations. People who are very intimately invested, who are supposed to be very intimately invested in equal return. And everything is on the upside down. Do you see that? I just realized that everything is on the upside down. Okay. So, okay, that's interesting. All right. Anything more that you want to say, Spirit? Yeah, okay. Four of Cups. So, Spirit's saying, like, okay, here's a refresher. Here's a cup. I know it's hot outside. And we're supposed to just take that cup, okay? You know, like the Avatar, The Last Airbender, when Aang is working through his chakras, and they're drinking like banana onion juice or something like that. That's kind of like what Spirit is providing us. It's a form of sustenance. It's what's available, and it does a job. And so certainly you can do that. You are what you drink. You are what you eat, etc. Okay. It's that symbology, that manifestation of processes. Like, you only get what you put in. And I've put in a lot so far. So, a lot of quality time and effort. Like, I wasn't just checking boxes like, I wasn't going willy-nilly at things. Like, I spent a lot of time. So King of Swords and Three of Cups. So there's someone that absolutely celebrates us, but this is also us remembering to honor our truth. Remembering that we have more than a leg to stand on, but an ass to sit on. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. Like, you don't always have to rise to the occasion of battle. Some of these things are best left, like, sit out. Right? Yeah. Sometimes, like, you're going against your... These are, like... Yeah, sometimes it's okay to sit certain things out. Just because, like... Because I have to remember that my ex's lawyer is a client to them. And providing that service. So they're not really representing me. They're not representing the case, the trial. They're representing somebody that's paying a bill. So, how do I say this? So, let's say my ex is, or how do I say it? I don't even want to, like, refer to my, them, you know, when there's a severance. So the opposite party, okay, how do I say it? Is that okay to just say it like neutral, like the opposite party? The other party. Let's say the other party, okay? If the other party's representation says, hey, they set a deadline, okay? They say something is due or whatever. You don't, like, that's just that's just a certain claim. That's not like a hard deadline. So why would I need to, like, jump through hoops trying to rush my way into a committed statement? You know what I mean? Like, when he said that we were supposed to exchange materials, I thought it meant, and it being in preparation, like as a trial readiness conference, I thought we had to have all of it available. So I had to call in for work, arrive late for work, be super stressed. Like, I spent like 14 to 20 hours straight, seriously, like, trying to get all of it together, and it was so nerve-wracking, and I didn't... So anyway, we learned from those experiences, and now I'm going to chisel out an hour of my day each day at a bare minimum, not to exceed double that, all the way leading up into it. And so, yeah, so, like, it's okay just to sit some things out, just to take a break a little bit. And so I warmed myself up to it, doing, like, this housework stuff, and I was very happy with that. But they're saying, like, that you don't need to limit yourself when it comes to giving back to yourself. Like, you're making up for, you're healing, this concept of, lost time and error, your previous trials, trying to work through it behind the scenes and offline, not recorded with your partner at the time, your supposed partner at the time. So it came to this point, and we're not backtracking anymore. We're just soothing those wounds. Okay? So there's that. Okay. So Spirit's saying, like, they're not just feeding us, like, medicine that doesn't taste good, that we would definitely not, like, choose out of a menu or anything of that sort. But this is not a prison, okay? This is not meant to corner us into submission or to agony. It's not meant to, like, position us as a martyr, but just to work through it, just chisel it out, okay? And we'll come to see the reasons why it's contributing to transformation, like the necessary moves. Because when I heard reasons why, I thought 13 reasons why. 13 is death, which is transformation, so there's change here. Yeah, look at the intro. Yeah. So I think the only thing that's flowering right now, really, is my hibiscus plant. One out of the two, anyway. And it's wild rose on this one. Maybe a couple of blooms are coming off of one of my rose bushes, but I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about like 6 rose bushes. I don't know, 5, like, because one is condensed. So 5 rose bushes, and only one of them is flowering just like a little bit, and I don't understand. So, okay, 4 of Swords in reverse, the Star in reverse, and the Suspended Person or the Hangman in reverse. Again, things are still upside down, but the cover to this is that we're healed. Like, if we could look at the timeline across the board, this is the most healed I have ever been. So let's see about this. There's something about, like, how a starfish gets stuck, or like, they move around, but only on solid surfaces, right? Like, there's I don't know. I think so. Can they propel themselves kind of like a squid? I have to look up how starfish move, but there's something about how starfish move beneath the surface. That is what they're telling me. That I am, oh my gosh, they're telling me that I can, excuse me, oh yeah, that was definitely magic. They're confirming that I have the ability to regenerate as I move beneath the surface. There's some power that I was given in order to allow for that. Because you see, like, this is the only hangman that is positioned as kelp. You see? So, being that it's like this, I just, there's something about, you see what I mean? Like, the starfish beneath the surface is like, it's healed. Like, because the 4 of Swords, it's like also the, like, sleeping, recovery, but if it's in reversal, it's like something about, like, so getting some rest, you know? Like, I got the rest, but things happen in your REM state, in your subconsciousness, that moves up to, like, there's something about movement after clarity. You know, there's something about the starfish spirit totem and how it moves beneath the surface. I don't know. I don't know why I keep being repeated, like why I'm constantly being reminded that. But you see, like the tentacles. You see, it's like that. There's something about my limbs. Like even if anyone tries to sever them, even if I'm like become an enemy to myself through my own actions or something, like I can't even mess it up. No, like even if I do that, like there's any attempt at that I'll still regenerate and I'll still be able to move. It's not going to hinder anything. What? Well, this is you know what they're saying? Oh, Mulian. I forget that thing. But they're saying that there's no wrong answer here. Do you know how many times like I used whiteout tape on my forms, like upon having to finalize them in the court, you know, like for filing? You can't check the wrong box. Like there's no, how do I say it? When you go about it, Tina, there might be some technical errors, okay? There might be some misunderstandings on terminology, but you going about things and moving things along is not an error. Like you can't, it's not like being high strung in saying that you can't make any mistakes. But this is more like there's no way that there's no room for error here. Okay, moving things forward, there's no fault in that. You approaching something, and even if there is fear attached into it, any form of fear generated by it or inflicted by it, is still going to advance you, Tina. Like you can do no wrong here. There, in the eyes of a jury that is meant to protect the spirit of the law, these are people who have gone through some trials, and they understand, how do I say it? All I know is that there is a greater power involved, and there is an essence of spirit in all of us. So, spirit knows how to come through in the many array of resources to reach people to see the truth and assist with its unearthing and its coming to light. So, there's nothing that can bind me here, nor debilitate me from moving where I'm at my most optimal conditions. So I gotta look up something about the Starfish community and their characteristics, but that's excellent. So any last input on this, Spirit? Oh, okay, okay. Two of Swords in reverse and Two of Pentacles. It wasn't upright, but it fell on my lap, but then it fell, or in the deck, and it fell on my recipient's side in reversal. So we have Master number 22 here. Master, partners or something like that. Okay. So there's a clearing, there's an unblocking, but there's also a need for weighing out of situation. So this is us becoming the scales of the justice system. Okay? It's weighing out. It's just kind of like, just think of this, if it becomes so stressful, think of us as a measuring cup. Okay, or a weighting, a weighting system. They are also saying a weighting system, like they're saying don't hold your breath, you know, like, because I'm hearing awaiting, like waiting to exhale, and that means that we're holding, sometimes we can like hold our breath, and it's like they're saying no, you got to relax a bit. So just think of this as a like, we're a resource to the justice system, that we're solid in identifying the measurements of this versus that, tit versus tat. And so within the negotiations, to be able to rely on our inputs, we may not have like the exact terminology, but we do understand concepts and how to get our point across. And if anybody can do that for me, as far as rationalizing, I am able to do that. I've done that throughout my history in divination. So much so that there are, I don't know anyone who will come against any of my divination, like legitimately. There's no one that will, like, in my starting stages, they attempted, and they were made examples by the legit comeback, the points that were made. And it was kind of effortless in the ability to do so. So why would it be any different within the translations of even things that are, even in a territory that is unfamiliar, an industry that is unfamiliar to me? Why would the mechanics change? It's no different, you know? So we don't have people in the jury that have their what is it? Their JDs. We don't, like, people are people. So knowing that there's the path is cleared for me, that I can freely weigh things as I receive. So that's part of, you know, the abundance. Yeah. That's what Spirit is saying. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the High Priest for, oh my gosh, this is for real. This is this is like the head of the jury system, basically. This is the role that mentors and also shapes the culture of respect and community within each locality, within each region. These are the waymakers that say yay to marriage or nay, in agreement to nays when it comes to divorce, when in reversal. So that's insane. I want to see what's behind him, or whatever, the devil. So I don't know why the devil is behind it. I think it's because, like, when you're placed in a high position, there's more conflict that feels like it's following you. And I don't know, like, to demonize the devil is, everybody knows, going through life stuff, the devil makes an appearance where needed, okay? To teach us lessons, to help us develop. They're agents of change, okay? The ways of that sword. So this is like kind of like that really, really strict coach, the one that everyone pretty much despises because they're so hard-lined in keeping this particular figure honest, okay? So let me just get what's behind the devil. 3 of Pentacles. And then 10 of Wands. Yeah, so there's some kind of disassembly required in order to shoulder a lot of weight. I'm seeing like disassembly. Something about, like, instead of planting, like implanting, we're extracting. Something about extraction in order to carry a heavy load. Extraction. And the 3 of Wands is in reverse, so that's like things are coming in. There's a 1 up here. Wow, there's highly like unfavorable stuff right behind it, but that's like looking at things at a glance. What's on the top of the deck? I don't know why it's like that. Knight of Wands in reverse. This is a player energy. So what's left on deck is that's player. Like, that's irresponsible player. You know what I mean? This is like a young player, not like a king of Wands player. This is a knight. This is a doer, a dabbler, and also an undoer. Is that what? I don't know. Can I get a clarifier on this High Priest? Like, why is there's like so much tied to this? 9 of Swords. They're saying don't sweat it, Tina. Just okay. So Spirit is saying, like, as you're moving along through this, don't give too much weight to the other party in coming through within their ethics, okay? Just follow through with your own, and the universe will match that in some way. They're going to match it, and we're just gonna go with that, okay? Because you can't blame yourself for coming through with substance and quality presence. Like, you're there for a bigger purpose, okay? So just don't stress about that. Insouciant. Remember that word, insouciant, okay? That whatever you are confronted with, that is an illusory state based on others' projections, okay? The only thing that has anything to do with you is for you to kind of like play patty cake with what you're given, okay? So that's okay. Now we're being told to move into the shape-shifting oracle. Oracle of the Shapeshifters. Okay. Who's this? Oh, Shapeshifters. Okay, so now I can put this in because we're now oh, and I have one more here. What is this? Memory, the Mermaid of Immersion. Complete commitment. This was on my shrine. Huh. You know what? I'm going to keep that on my shrine. I feel like that's important. Okay. Supplemental spirit. What is it you want for me? Like playing patty cake with these resources. Like, it's kind of also vetting the material, like giving it a pat down, and once you're done with that, a pat on the back, like you're on your merry way, you know? So that's definitely what they're saying. Thank you. Okay, so that one on the top, whatever. Snake Princess, a serpentine path to power, 42. Oh, we have received this before in an older reading. So, this is going back to the parable of Adam and Eve and how Eve, like, listening to the snake, was induced into, like, disobeying. And so anyway, this is learning the path in all forms, okay? Following it, the left-hand path, the right-hand path, and the middle ground, okay? So it's a recognition that there are several ways in which to go about this, but Spirit's saying, basically, the ball is in your court, the apple, okay? That which you find value in, beauty and sustenance, is in your hands. The ball is in your court, and it's glowing, and people know it. Everybody freaking knows it. Even people that you don't know. They can tell by your energetics that the ball is in your court, Tina. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so we got that. I feel like I'm supposed to read it. Am I supposed to read it? Let me see, 42. Okay, right. You are being healed and given guidance from the serpent goddess, who is the originator of all life. You are the keeper of the old ways. You are the one who cannot flee these changes, and so you must use your power with great discrimination and precision. You have great powers of divination and may have associations with the ancient Pytha, the oracle of Delphi. Oh, okay. Initially, the Pythia, or Pythonus, yeah, was the oracle of the goddess, and over time the Pythia transformed into the oracle of Apollo. But the Pythia remained the guardian of the serpentine way. It may be time to walk a labyrinth, to forego the linear, dualistic view of the world, and to begin to live in a more feminine, organic, undulating way. This is a wonderful time to learn ritual dance, to explore what skin it is you must shed, to observe the rites of ancient cultures, and to acknowledge that you too are one of the people of the serpent. This is a good and sacred thing, as these people are ancient and wise ones who are bringing back serpentine wisdom, so we can bridge the gap between deep earth and the highest of heavens. Again, are you? Yeah, keep digging. This is interesting. Okay. So you can, okay. Ancient and wise who are bringing back serpentine wisdom, so we can bridge the gap between the earth, deep earth, and the highest of heavens again. You are also able to communicate with the dead. Oh my, dude, seriously, I'm gonna have to do special reading to practice on those, okay? You are able to communicate with the dead, a talent of the very wise, and some say the very brave. Please explore this talent if this card comes forth. As an ancestor is willing to share great knowledge with you. With this knowledge, you will be free and will regenerate the ancient secrets kept hidden too long. You are strong enough and worthy enough. Holy smokes, are you serious? What? This is like the third or fourth time that they confirmed that I can speak, like I can do necromancy. But unlike any other, or at least most others, I feel like it's any other. Is there anything else that you want to say before I move into the Symbolon tarot, or Symbolon system? Okay, I got two here. 2 kittens you must choose, and then deep dark sea mermaid. Find solutions in unknown places in the darkness. This is insane. You go, what? This is so insane. This feels like a little much, but I know it's not. It's exactly how it should be. So 27, 2 kittens speak. Okay, I'm just gonna go back to the divination portion, which is there is such a challenge. There is such a challenging choice to be made at the moment. It could be between 2 schools, 2 sports, 2 people who wish to be in relationship with you, 2 friends who wish to have your time, or even just as it is in the image on the card, 2 gorgeous creatures whom you wish to adopt and protect. It is necessary for you to tune in and do something right now, for you cannot continue as you are at present. One thing must be left, for its rightful place is not with you. The universe will send you many messages to help you decide, but it is you who must act, who must choose, who must say what your decision is. Passivity will lead to greater pain for all at this time, and that is something you are responsible for. So choose, act, get clear, and stay open and calm, and the decision will come. But the choice, this card insists, must be made. No more compromise on this. I'm not gonna lie, Spirit, that makes me feel a little stressed out. Heck. Okay. Let me grab one from here. But they said like that's much for sale, so Knight of Swords. Something about moving fast but on feet. So just gain traction, one foot in front of the other until like you're running, okay? It's like Forrest Gump, like breakthrough of his braces, like not needing his braces, you know? That's what you're saying. Okay, so Deep Dark Sea Mermaid 16. Okay. New discoveries about your own capabilities are happening now. The energy you send and receive becomes known to you. You see the relationship between what you feel, send, and create in your own life. It all becomes clear. Where once it was frightening, now you can see the beauty of this responsibility, a radical truth. You are responsible. You may be interested in energy sources and scientific breakthroughs. Wise wizards like Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein and their theories may appeal to you at this time. You will consider ancient technologies that have long lain dormant. You will explore the Earth's energy grid and the power that can be held and that can flow through deep waters. Deliberately obscured origins of ancient secrets will be coming to light. Wireless power and communication, telepathy, underworld archaeology, this discovery of ancient places, secrets held beneath the waters of the world and beneath the waters of your psyche. The source of your emotions will become clear. Holy smokes, like I'm sweating. Just a little bit. But do you see that? Like the snake, and then I had this on my altar for like a long time. Remember that reading? Dude. Like, what am I saying? Okay. Alright, Symbolon system. The deck of remembrance. Okay. Alright, so I must choose. I think those two cards were actually meant for more than just me. So, like, for sure. Yeah. But the first one was definitely for me. Okay. Because I don't really feel like I need to make a decision right now. Like, I feel like for me, it's I have to be more decisive, okay, in my deliveries. Especially with, like, I can't go wrong. You know, there might be some do-overs, there might be some corrections, but I can't go wrong in moving things forward. Like, the only thing that would be considered wrong is, like, moving in haste, you know? Is that right, Spirit? I feel like... Okay, is there anything else that you want to say before I go into Bananagrams? Or if we're going to do Bananagrams? Okay, that one. There's someone that's kind of being held hostage. But this is like a journey for... Wait. There's something... You see? Like a lady being held hostage, you know, being tried. And there's two gentlemen here that I don't even want to call them gentlemen, but one is kind of like iffy, okay? The other one is very unsavory in character, okay? So this one kind of feels bad, or so, there's something, certain negotiations that are being done. Like this one does not give one shit. The dog is either a friend between this or this character based on their positioning, because I feel like there's like a good friend, like a loyal figure that like doesn't, is just happy to be with his master over here, and this one is distracted by the acknowledgement of another sentience, like thinking very highly of this person over here. But then there's also a storyline where this dog could be this one, this is the owner, but he's noticing that this sentience, this like man's best friend, this figure, is speaking very, like, looking very fondly of this energy here. So there's something about that there, okay? The acknowledgement of this person that's caught on the in-between. There's also another family that is very concerned with what's going on over here, okay? And I think I know what that part means, but I don't really know who these characters are. I don't really know what that means there. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, no, it hit my water. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's the Ace of Cups. Oh, it hit the Ace of Cups. Holy smokes. Accentuated on my recipient side. You see, like, and my water is, like, I'm using it, like, recycled, but, like, it's black cherry. And there's, like, hint. So whatever black cherry is, I feel like it's protecting. But, like, the Ace of Cups to hit my water, like, my replenishment? Dude, seriously. It even got a few water droplets. I didn't want it to get all funked up. But this is, there's so much love. There's like so much creativity, so much replenishment off of this. So in approaching this, there's a way of internally mediating the situation. Okay, that as we're doing that, like doing the whole temperance thing with our 2 cups and weighing of materials, like, is this cookie big enough to support, like, this cup, or vice versa? The cookie and cup thing, especially with noticing that there's the 2 of Pentacles right there, and the road is unblocked in the decision-making process. Like, it's like arranging for a large meeting, and you're like, oh, what kind of cookies, like, should I order? That kind of thing. But, suiting the cups. And there's something about that. And looking at, like, while we're doing the temperance thing, weighing out the resources that pair along that are complements to that cup energy, that Spirit is offering us, like, also this great big cup, which is also an indicator to the introduction of that, right? Oh, don't drop. And so, looking at that, this is the 3rd cup. That's celebration. Like, you're doing the right thing. You're doing the thing. You're doing the stuff. Okay, 3 of cups in total. Okay, Spirit is with us, meeting halfway. Okay. Any last things that you want to say, Spirit? I feel like that was like the grand finale, but thought I'd just ask. Okay, so I have what opened up to this, kind of like a journeyman in reverse, and then also another journeyman also in reverse. So it's a meeting in the middle here. It's kind of not, like, like, it's kind of let go and let be. Do you see? It looks like they're speaking to, like, this one's trying to say, like, goodbye, we have to part ways, and have, like, starting a new journey, etc. And then, but this person's, like, ignoring and not listening, and they're walking off this pier, and the pier is usually, like, the prime area of, like, even, like, when you go to, like, the beach, like, at least I think Huntington Beach, they have Main Street, and it's like the pier is supposed to be like the big thing, anywhere really, but like this person is ignoring something, like there's a breakage here. So they're going to fall to, like, their own demise, their own, like, stuff. But, so it's like two separate journeys. Instead of a convergence, it's a divergence. So being in reversal, it's having to remain like in hangman view. Like, both have to do their own thing. So let it go and let it be. That's what Spirit is saying. Where there's no longer, this is a confirmation in the approach. Like, we're not here to repair, like, oh, we still want to be together, or we still want to share these same things that we're like. This is a journey beyond immediate repair. Okay, so it's a separation of ways in which that is the most optimal way in repair, in mending something. Okay, so that's what's fair to say. Okay. Okay. So with that, we have also someone stomping out, like the grumpy. We've already gotten this before. Okay, that's the bottom of the deck. Somebody just like, this is a subconscious thing of somebody like stomping their way out because they're not getting their way. Okay, you know, from this mother figure, this inner child is just, and that's what I really feel like my ex, or how do I say it, the opposite part is doing. That, you know, like, I'm no longer to feel sorry about this. Like, you know, my mother-in-law's health is absolutely deteriorating, and it has been for quite a while, so she's basically on her deathbed. And so there's been a lot of angst and hatred for what she's done in caretaking for other children. And so he's not getting his way because he never got the quality time that he felt he deserved, that was superior, that he felt was superior to all the other kids she took care of. So in this picture, it's just him and her, with him stomping off, and she's still, you know, trying to express her loving ways and how she perceives love to be. Even so much as saying like, oh, boys will be boys, what can you do? You know, and or like, you know, so there's something about that. Because I've noticed the personification, the reactivation, and how he sees feminine figures, like matronly figures, and how that Psyche was, where I was the brunt of his feuds with his unspoken feuds with his mom. So, you know, it's like, okay, so I got the science behind it. I understand the science and psychology behind it. And here it's like having to raise a family basically separately, aloof, like in hangman state, objectively. So basically that's the only thing we share now, but it has to be done objectively. So this is like the truth. This is absolutely the truth of the matter. I'm going to crack it open just for me. Okay, so this is carrying a load, like a huge weight, like this rock, across this jagged terrain. But it's like not having to do much of that anymore. Anything of that sort is kind of like intangible, kind of, you know what they're saying is, it's not even like the hangman state here. It's when you're digging beneath the surface, you're going to have to move some big rocks too. That's what they're saying. That I don't have to carry it anymore. I can just like roll it over. Just leave no stone unturned. So I'm just going to have to roll it over. Like a rolling stone. Something to be out on your own, like Rolling Stone. How does it feel? Something. I have to look at that. Okay. So, Rolling Stone. Okay. And then one for my crew here, or us anyway. This in reverse. There's communications on some kind of tragedy. What's going on there? Having to take care of So, you know, Hermes, there's communications on, like, wanting, because right behind it, it was trying to make me pick up this other one. Her baby's trying, lady's trying to take care of her baby, but it's in reversal. So, like, having to do that kind of hands off. So, mother without smother. And that's a new kind of like lesson for me. Not a huge harsh lesson, but to be able to love in the highest degree of knowing that you're not meant to control everything. You're meant to allow for some space, some breathing room, some distance, so that they can engage. But if you're in the way, it's hard to engage and enabling that kind of environment, that kind of learning environment. So noticing that that's the energy behind this lady that's really like standing in her truth and just super freaking exhausted, that she needs some time out to herself. There's Hermes. There's someone that's like with a golden ray of light coming to us that is, you know, trying to help console us, but like also kind of standing apart from the situation as well. Yeah. So there's that. So, you know, that's also a blessing too. All right. So now, I think we'll do Bananagrams. We'll see what we got time here for. Okay. So, Spirit, anything else that you want to say in here? You bring anything from, like, I'm hearing, like, the dead, too. Or, you know, those that have passed. Okay, so one fell. It's a C. Okay, WBARRTIYEBIDE. I'm seeing carry, abide, tribe, writer, waiter, DC, bright, BRITE, bride, draw, rate, berate, okay, anyway, boy, okay, so TSVUADPU, okay, so I have an old boss in here. I don't even know if I should call him a boss. Somebody that I used to report to. One of those here. Reference, anyway. I see persuade. Dupe. Buy. Bribe. There's some possibility of bribes being done here. I don't want to give it full, like, allowance and manifestation. But the other party is affiliated with that, at least in their past. So this may be a very well, like, learning experience for them, which could be very easy, but it could also be very... very intense, let me tell you. I see spade. Yeah. Ace. Alice. Derby? Okay. Yeah. Brianna? Bree? Tyra? Dua? Duo? Katie? Cat, Abe, or Abram, Iris, Deity. Okay, first I'm supposed to put Persuade before I forget to put that on there. I also have Victor. There's VD here as well. Someone has contracted something, and it's confirmation. I'm pretty sure that's the opposite party, or their affiliations. Dottie. Draper, like Donald Draper, but Rod, Boat, Crow. Yeah, I feel like there's Bro, Cover, COVID. Somebody's got COVID. Like, I know it's not as popular nowadays, but somebody caught COVID again. Something there. Also Crowd. Tribe. Yeah, there's something about me being able to persuade a crowd. I mean, I know I can do that, but the positioning is not really for the effect of power, but for the effect of ethics, like understanding. But there's like tribe here. Trib. About. Bravo. Okay. Brit. Someone's a British. British. Yeah. There's a vibe here. Huh. I see Batty here as well. Right? Like batty, like a bat, you know, someone's going batty, but there's also a batty, B-A-D-D-I-E. And someone has AB blood type who is also bi. I don't, it says here. Brave. I don't know. I'm supposed to put Bravo, but let me see here. If I do Bravo, I'm supposed to take out, like, take letters from tribe and crowd.